Hello students, welcome to ePadasala. I am Dr. S. Gayatri Devi, working as Assistant Professor in the Department of Psychology, Avinash Lingam University, Coimbatore. The topic which I am going to tell you is about projective tests. Projective techniques are used to identify the inner self of the individual, such as needs, unfulfilled desires, achievement, etc. Projective techniques are very widely used techniques by the clinical psychologists to diagnose the inner cry and help the individuals through psychoanalysis, cognitive therapy, behavior therapy, as well as counseling. Let us know more about the types of projective techniques, advantages and disadvantages. Projective tests are open-ended examination that invite people to tell stories about pictures, diagrams or objects. The idea is that because the test material has no established meaning, the story a person tells must say about his needs, wishes, fears and other aspects of his personality. In other words, the subject will project his feelings into the test items. Projective test is otherwise known as objective test or a self-report test. Now let us see what is classification of projective measures. Lindsay in 1959 proposed a 5-way classification of projective methods based on types of responses such as association, construction, completion, choice or ordering and expression. Now let us see what is association techniques. In this technique, the subject will be responding to the stimulus, the first thing that comes to his mind. The most famous and important technique is Rorschach-Inkblot test, developed by Swiss psychiatrist Hermann Rorschach. The test consists of 10 cards, 5 cards are in black and white and 5 cards are color cards. The subject should be seated comfortably and the card should be administered one by one and the responses should be noted down. Based on the subject's responses, the psychologist should try to obtain which portion of the pictures elicits the responses. There are a number of methods to score the Rorschach responses. Some area are very specific and concrete. For an example, according to one method, a subject who mentions human movement more often than color in the ink blot is probably introvert, while an extrovert will mention color more than movement. The other methods are far more intuitive. For an example, simply noting whether the person taking the test is open or hostile. Many researchers have criticized the Rorschach, charging that scoring systems are neither reliable nor valid, but it continues to be widely used by the therapist. I would like to mention one of my student case. It had happened some 10 years before. The student has given the Rorschach responses such as that more than 5 places she has given that there are 2 students are there and a group of students are watching them. Then when I started probing, then she was started narrating that when she was in the 7th standard, she was gang raped. Both the girls were gang raped by the group of men. So this has made her to become more nervous, anxious, and she started having all sorts of psychosomatic problems. Even if the girl doesn't want to tell about herself, she has it will come automatically. So this is the very interesting case in projective techniques such as Rorschach, that even if a person doesn't want to tell about themselves, it will come automatically as a response. Now let us see what is word association method. in this method is more promising method. Emotionally tinged words are included with neutral words and the subject is asked to respond with the first word that comes to the mind. Now let us see what is construction techniques. In this technique, the focus is on the product of the subject. The subject is required to produce, to construct something, a direction, usually a story or a picture. The stimulus can be simple, like asking children to tell a story about what happened yesterday or what is happening today or what will happen. The second most widely used projective test is thematic apperception test, introduced at Harvard University in 1935 by Henry Murray. The total number of cards is 30. Based on the subject's age and gender, 20 cards will be selected and the subject will be administered with 10 cards for 2 sessions. The subject looking at the pictures to write a story about the picture, what has happened, what is happening and what will happen. Based on the stories, the psychologist will interpret the subject's hero, wants and needs. For this, I would like to give a case. One of my students has written a story that one girl is in love, and when I started inquiring about that, she started narrating that she started loving a person, the family is not accepting. Then I was giving her counseling. So without parents' knowledge, she should not be married. Now she is married to that person, informing the family, and she is very happy now. So this is the case. Even if a student doesn't want to tell about their inner thing, in TAT, in the storytelling, it will come automatically. It is a very good test to know about people inner needs, wishes and desires. Now let us see what is completion techniques. Complete projective measures provide the subject with a stimulus that is incomplete. The subject being required to complete it as he wishes, or stimulus may be loosely structured. The responses of completion techniques are simpler than those of association and construction measures, thus simplifying the task of scoring and interpretation. The famous sentence completion test is the best known of such techniques, but other types of completion measures such as story completion, discussion completion and others are being developed. Now we will see what is choice or ordering techniques. These methods require simple responses. The subject chooses from among several alternatives as in a multiple choice item test. The item or choice that appears most relevant, correct and attractive, etc. For an example, if a researcher would like to measure need for achievement or attitudes towards minority, this test will be an apt method. Now let us see what is expression techniques. Expressive projective techniques are similar to construction techniques. The subject is required to form some sort of product out of raw material, but the emphasis is on the manner in which he does this. The end product is not important. With the construction methods, the content and perhaps the style of the story or other product are analyzed. With, say, finger painting or play therapy, it is the process of the activity and not the end product that is important. The subject expresses his needs, desires, emotions and motives through working with, manipulating and interacting with materials including other people, in a manner or style that uniquely expresses his personality. The play therapy will be a best method to administer to children. If the children are given clay or if they are asked to form any kind of thing to whom they like more, we will be able to know. And if the children doesn't like anybody, then with the doll, if they will be able to beat or how much they are showing their emotions, a researcher will be able to understand the children's attitude. So it is mainly used for children to know about their feelings towards adults or their peer group or with the younger ones. So it's a very good technique. The principal expressive methods are play, drawing, painting, finger painting, and role playing. Levin and Turgeon used doll play to measure aggression. Aggression is defined by the acts that hurt, irritate, injure, punish, frustrate, or destroy the doll or equipment. Finger painting is a particularly rich expressive method. The subject is given parts of a special type of paint and told to draw what he likes with the paints using his fingers and hands. Variables can be measured by counting numbers of certain kinds of manipulative and approach behavior or by rating subjects on the variables using predetermined criteria. Role playing is the acting out of an assigned personal or social situation for a brief period by two or more individuals who have been assigned specific roles. It holds considerable promise as an experimental method and as an observation tool of behavioral research, though its research use has been limited. Group processes, interpersonal interaction, hostility, authoritarianism, prejudice, and many other variables can be measured. Role playing is generally brief. The time limit ranges from 3 to 15 or 20 minutes. The best timing for role play is 10 minutes. The majority of the subject will be able to express the feelings in this particular method. Now let us see what is theories of projective tests. The assumption is that humans have conscious and unconscious motivation and attitudes. The first important one is it maintains conscious and unconscious constraints. An individual has various needs which can be both conscious and unconscious and that can be measured by projective tests. Second point, it results in spontaneous outcome. As I mentioned earlier, the students, even if they don't want to tell about themselves, it will come automatically. The need of a person comes out spontaneously and there is no editing in it. It is the actual picture about the thought process of a person. Moreover, it clearly pictures all the needs and wants of a person in middle and of some sort of emotional roller coaster rides. Third point, it depends upon non-verbal communication. Based on this, we will be able to see how a person reacts seeing the pictures or sentence completion or any inkblot series. So, based on the non-verbal communication, the clinical psychologist or psychologist will be able to understand what is their emotions. The results are confirmed on the basis of what the person tells spontaneously while conducting the test. It is one of the most non-verbal communications wherein which people present their non-verbal communication and that might depend upon behavior, reaction and attitude. Fourth point is motivational barriers. This study understands all the results of personality reactions and most importantly all the motivations, beliefs and attitudes are detectable quickly. Now let us see what is the advantages of projective tests. Projective test has proved to be positive to a large extent. Psychologists are able to help the clients to change his behavior and take a positive attitude in life. The assumption needs to be followed or it is easy to assess personality. It is assumed that the projection is greater than the stimulus, which is almost same to the respondent. Each and every response given by the subjects explains the benefits of personality. The subject's unconscious mind will be studied. As I mentioned earlier that even the girl who doesn't want to tell about what has happened to their trauma when they were childhood, they were able to reveal. So that is the main advantage. Projective test can be used in marketing. It is beneficial for advertisement. It is useful in business also. Now let us see what is the disadvantages of projective tests. It needs highly qualified and experienced professionals. For an example, if it is a Rorschach test or TAT test, a person should be trained at least for 6 months from the clinical psychologist, or it should be given training in the big institution like Nimmans, Ranchi, Madras, all those places. It is highly expensive. Risk of interpretation bias. Respondents engage in unusual behavior, unstructured techniques. Now let us see what is conclusion. I hope it is made clear as to why psychologists use projective techniques very widely and why an untrained person should not use this tool, rather not misuse it. It is a wonderful tool where it is appropriately used and helps individuals only by trained professionals. It is like a Chakravyu in Mahabharata. Abhimanyu was not able to come out of it. Similarly, untrained people may find it difficult to maneuver through the stages and come out of it by not hurting the clients. As I have told you that only trained people will be able to know what is the real cause of it, and untrained people, if they start interpreting, they may give you wrong judgments. It leads to lot of complication. No client should be given a misleading diagnosis which will result in all unwanted behavior or consequences. So we will use these techniques as a very good tool to find out the unconscious wishes, desires, motives, etc. Thank you.